Okay, hello, welcome again to City Heroes Video Tours. This one, we're going to focus on the new accolade they just added with the issue 28 update called Mark and Recall. It is a special accolade that you get when you gather up certain sets of badges in the game. For instance, the Germinator Terminator badge for beating the giant seed of Hamidon in First Ward, also the full spectrum for destroying all the seedlings that can spawn in First Ward. Actually, you really need to just destroy one each of the seedlings that it spawns to get that badge, but to defeat the giant seed, you kind of got to wipe out the seedlings anyway. So, hey. Show's over for defeating carnivals out there in Pretoria. Lawbreaker for defeating drudges, which you can find in Night Ward. Carnivals you can find pretty much over in First Ward. Multifaceted for completing 25 alignment tip mission badges. That badge set was added on this last update also. The last word is a history badge. Just get all the plaques over in First Ward and you should have that. Eye of the Vortex. That's one of the map badges in First Ward. Stargazer, which is a Night Ward exploration badge, and Dead But Dreaming, another Night Ward exploration badge. You collect them all and you get the nifty little Mark and Recall accolade, which is right here. This is the icon. This is the info on it. Now, I've tested it already on this, and I know it will work, but obviously people are going to want some more tangible proof, so we're going to do it again. This is set on Master Mode. There's a reason for this. Remember, Penelope Inn must be brought here to the door. Now, there's another strategy we can use if we have multiple people on this with teleportation powers, but that's okay. We're going to use the new Mark and Recall accolade instead. Now remember, on Master Mode, if Penelope Inn gets defeated, the badge is a fail. You lose the Master Badge. Been that way for a long time, nothing you can do about it. Luckily, they changed Mission 3, where if the two Omegas get defeated, then you still keep going for the Master Badge, which is good. As long as no one on your team has been defeated, of course. Anyway, that's the description of it. So, here's what we do. We click, and I've now activated it, and there's supposed to be an icon on my map to show where I've marked the location, but it's not really showing, and that's okay. We really don't need that. And this might be a little bit of a bumpy ride, and possibly a comedy of errors as I try to get down there, but oh well. I don't have super speed phase shift on this character, and honestly, it doesn't really need it. So, but that's me. Different people, different play styles. Remember, folks, City of Heroes is designed to promote diversity of character design and play style. And there's a lot of people out there that should be reminded about that, and that diversity, both in the game and out of the game in IRL, really should be respected a bit more. It can make for much more harmonious relations. Oh my, they almost took down my particle shield, which is about to recharge anyway. Oh, the benefits of permacharge particle shield. Okay. Now, next step, we gotta get Penelope in free, which means smashing these generators and a lot of Ricky. So, hang on for a few minutes while we slugfest through this here. Of course, this rat armor tightened weapons on this tank. And it's not the tank's first rule. I must admit, though, it is a shame that Incarnate powers are shut off on Master Bad runs. That's it. I wouldn't mind using a little Ion Judgment without it. But that's it. Okay, so we got the generators down. Now we just gotta wipe out a bunch of Ricky guards. bashful about using inspirations. There's no shame. Or I could always tap these accolades here to reinforce myself. The trick now is to get her free from that beam, and the way to do that with the generators down is I gotta deck a lot of freaking, mainly the bosses, but that's okay. Not concerned. All the side attacks, a dark armor tank goes in too. Willpower can do fairly well, but might get overwhelmed. Super reflexes would be a bad idea, so shield tank. Ice armor, fire armor would do okay, but again, they're not the more optimal armor sets for something like this. Trust me, I know, I do have one each of those. Actually, my shield tank was decommissioned, cleansed of its IO, was put back in storage, and was bumped to another server. Then put in storage. Like a perma-charged particle shield on auto-fire. Okay, this is what we wanted. She's now free from the beam. We gotta go through the cutscene of this uber nerd of a Clot King obsessing over her. Needs many years of therapy, so she had to be in a brain injury. Now, we have to wait till she's done talking. Once she's done talking and she starts fighting, we can then make our move here. Bear with me a moment. Okay, she's now done her speech. When she says she's really sorry, she's ready. Let's click this. Hey, look! We're both here. The key for this or the other teleport strategies is you can't teleport her until she says that she's really very sorry. That's when she's mobile and she's in combat mode. That is when you strike with your teleportation strategy or with what I just did. That new Accolade just sent us right back to the mission door. The fact that it took her with me was, when I first tested it, that was an unexpected dividend. My plan was to warp back here, then use single target teleport on her, which is a legitimate tactic. So there you go. This is very nice. So this is something to keep in mind on a Master LGTF run for this mission. You want a super nigh indestructible tank going down there on its own, getting her free. But before that, it's got to mark its location right here at the door with this Accolade, which is now on recharge for the next 8 minutes. Upon doing that, hang on, let me step out here so I don't have to waste my time dodging their attack. Okay, so like I was saying, before being so rudely interrupted by that ambush, I tell you, no manners. Anyway, okay, so the super nigh indestructible tank such as this one goes in at the door. You mark the location with the Accolade like I did. Click, and then it was on standby, ready to go the whole time. It zips on down there. It frees Penelope in. After the cutscene, once she's done talking, you have to wait until you see the NPC dialogue where she says that she's really very sorry for everything that's gone on. Okay? That's when she starts moving, that's when she's in attack mode, and that's when she can be cut down and defeated, and we don't want that. That's when you activate the Accolade while standing near her like I was, and zap. We're both at the door. Now, I'm thinking that it took us both because she was attached to me. I was going to be her escort through the hallways. Okay? To get back up there. To the door. That is the most likely explanation for why that worked. I was her escort. And the teleportation happened so fast that we didn't need to have to worry about the tether being broken. So that's a good thing. Now, if you want to try to speed it up and optimize safety a little bit, some or all the team could go down there, but once she's free, but the tank still marks the location with that Accolade. Everyone then backs off before she gets freed and the cutscene begins. You gotta have her attached to the tank, who's done the marking with that Accolade. Okay? That's that. So if you bring the rest of the team down there, she might latch onto someone else, and that could screw up the whole program. So your best bet is, again, just go right ahead. Let the Super 9 destructible tank do the thing while everyone else sits at the door. And hey, the rest of the team won't be bored for long, because once you're back there at the door, there's the Clockwork King. You still gotta take him down to beat the whole mission. No big deal. Okay, here we are in a mission that I punched up on police radio. It appears to be a rescue mission. Not sure if it'll be an escort to the door, but we'll find out. If it's not, then great, we'll try something else. Accolade just recharged, so again, location now marked. Standby. Well, how about that? It is an escort mission. For once, I never thought I'd be glad to be on one of these, but okay. He's following me. He's tethered to me. Let's hit the Accolade. It works. This just made rescue escort missions of any kind a whole lot better. Now, let me check something else. Stand by. Okay. For this mission, I'm going to test the mark and recall Accolade again. This is the new Red Side mission, where you can get the Underdog or the Polster badge, depending if you choose Rogue or Hero alignment. I've got this arc covered in its entirety on another video. This is just for mark and recall testing. So first, we tap the icon, and my return point is now marked. Now this one's kind of important because I gotta go rescue the Praetorian character Tunnel Rat, which is easy in and of itself, but she likes to fight her way out. So all these enemies I'm zooming on past to get to her, she'd want to blast them all on the way out. Yeah. Think we can kind of live without going through all that, if at all possible. So where is she? She's not there. There. Ah, here she is. Amazing how she stays invisible even after she's captured. Oh. If the story arc captures up to 35, I'm going to use my judgment power to blast these guys. But oh well. Ah, now she's battling. It's good, so I've got her free. Now, I've tested on every occasion with the person right next to me. I'm going to move away just quite a bit here. And then... okay. She was still kind of close to me, but the tether was still intact, so okay, fine. I wanted to try to move far away and see if it was possible, but she moves fast to catch up. But hey, there you go. Another useful thing for the Mark and Recall Accolade. This is a good thing. Alright. Hello everyone, this is another little City Heroes video segment for the Mark and Recall Accolade, which I've already got primed. This mission comes from, right here, Gaussian of RWZ fame, Trap the Renegades. I gotta find and rescue Lady Grey. Now, she likes to fight her way out, and I think one of the criteria was I do have to defeat the attack groups, but we're gonna just see about that. I do have a hunch that just maybe won't have to. And by the way, since Lady Grey does attack on her way out, she could actually be defeated. So we're going to find out here real quick if I really do need to fight those mobs on the way out. Because yes, I have marked the entrance. The Accolade's already primed and ticking away. It's just a matter of finding her. I see her over there. Okay, good. Not that these mobs could actually defeat my character, but hey. She is in the middle of combat. Let's find out if it'll work while she's in battle mode. It should. It worked. Ah, nuts. I actually still have to beat the assassin squads. Okay, well, good to know. Okay, here we are doing another City Heroes Mark and Recall Accolade Tour video. It's the Accolade that can warp you back to where you were when you first activated the power. And as you've seen in other video segments on this vid, it's a very useful power for the rescue mission, such as this one. So first, we mark the spot. Or mark the territory if you want to be. Now, if you want to see my other videos about the complete arc of Dr. Vazlov's lab, that one right now, feel free. This is just for mission 2 and 3, and also the last mission. This accolade is very useful. This is mission 2. We're gonna have to smack a few targets around, then we'll be able to go then. I wonder. Okay, nail this target. Let's go find Pierce. Okay. Got her rescued. She's tethered to me and ready to go. Click. Well, what do you know? Now for the next mission. Okay, this is mission 3 of part 1 of the Lab of Ozolok. This is the one where you gotta drag Pierce, Cortex, and Buzzsaw with you to the lab door for Pierce to crack the code to get it open. Problem is all 3 of them fight the mobs. You can't just take them straight through. The good news is that they cannot be defeated, so if they get knocked down to 0 health, they just pop right back up, so that's a relief. But we're gonna change it up a little bit here. The Accolade's almost done recharging. Those 3 can just sit right there. Since I ran past them, they'll probably start fighting. That's perfectly fine. Let them fight some mobs. They won't be dead when I come back for them. Now, as long as I get pierced, that's fine. Okay, the Accolade is back. Just gotta get to the right spot to use it. Alright, this is the spot. Perfect. Now, we mark the spot. Don't particularly care about those drones. Let's go ahead and phase out. Now we go back to the beginning. It's also recommended to make sure that your phasing power is turned off before you trigger the Accolade. There we are. Phase power back off. Okay, they're tethered to me, and even though they're in the middle of combat, let's go for it. Hey, looky there! Well, what you know about that? Doing her thing, I guard her while she cracks open the door, and hallelujah. I'm not going to complete the whole mission, there's no need for that. This alt's already gone through the story arc, and does have Tarnished Star as well, so... Alright. Now let's pause this out, we'll resume it on the final mission of part 2. Okay, here we are, final mission of the whole story arc. Or we have to get Bile out of the Zig. So first, we're going to tap the old Accolade right here at the door. And done. believe it or not, you actually don't have to fight those three. So, spend time doing it. Let's see here. I wonder if I could warp through the door now. Nah, I better not try it. We'll wait till he comes out fully armed. I'll experiment with that another time, though, if I need. He's tethered to me, he's moving. Click. Well, what do you know? You didn't have to fight Cortex or anyone else on the way out. How about that? Okay, mission 1 of the ITF. Okay, here we are, City Heroes. This is the Silver Mantis Strike Force from the red side, Rogue Isles. Here once again to show you the Mark and Recall Accolade in action. Other parts of this video will go over the component badges that you need for this. So we won't need to list the component badges at this time. All right then. So as always, we're at the door to the mission. I have now marked the spot, or I suppose you could say marked the territory. Ugh. Now, let's see if I can find the two people I have to escort out. A recent update, as I recollect, improved their perception abilities so they're not always getting lost or left behind if you're stealthy when you try to lead them out, which is nice. But Mark and Recall, I think, is going to make the rescue of them a whole lot nicer. Now, the purpose of this vid is just to show if Mark and Recall will work on this. Other vid segments have it where I've rescued one person with this. I do not know if multiples can be transported. I would like to think that they would be able to. But one never knows. And if it's only one at a time, that's a shame, because the Accolade's got a 10-minute recharge time. Anyway, other targets down here, so let's go ahead and hop down. The rescuee should come down. Perfect, so they'll be next to each other when I free the other one. I mean, you can walk them both out at the same time. That's not a problem. The real question is, can I warp them both at the same time? I'm betting that I can, but sometimes seeing is believing. Okay, they're both green. They're both tethered to me. Here comes the big test. We click. Well, like a charm. Okay, so multiples can be warped. That's good to know, gang. That is great to know. Okay, this is mission 1 of the Leviathan Strike Force in Sharkhead. This, you gotta find Barracuda wherever she's at and take her to a glowy wherever it's at. And she will fight her way through to it. She will fight through the mobs, she'll fight through ambushes. She could actually be defeated if my memory serves. You really don't want that. No, there's Leroy. That's an Arachnos NPC character named Leroy, and he's always rushing in and getting captured. I wonder what he was named after. Well, we don't have to worry about him. He's not quintessential to the mission. Excuse me. Okay, there she is, which means target objective is going to be here. Okay, there it is. So, marking. Oh, cool. So the marker does show up on the map now. Good. If the marker doesn't show up on the map, don't worry about it. It should still be in effect. Okay, she's tethered to me and ready to go. So, ta-da! Creative usage of the power. Okay, here we are. City Heroes Mark and Recall video tour. I'm going to demonstrate again an example of the Mark and Recall Accolade's extremely great usage. This is mission 2 of the Katie Hanan trial in Crotoa. I am running it solo, yes. Mission 1 with the 10 Marys is normally a problem, but I'm actually ported over onto the beta server right now. I did test this on mission 2 and 4 of this on live, but my recording software got a little bit buggedy out, so I decided, okay, fine, let's port over to test, and I can quickly get through mission 1 by myself, instead of forming up a team, etc., and trying again, hope my software doesn't glitch. And also, by the way, while you could try to solo the first mission of this with those 10 Marys, it's not worth it. Believe me on that. I've done it before with other alts. Soloing those 10 Marys is not worth it in terms of time and effort expended. So don't bother with that. Just don't bother. Alright, so in any event, here we are. We now activate the app, or the Accolade, whatever you like to call it. I have now marked the return point, or my territory, whichever you want to call it. And let's go ahead, and we're going to get through the tunnels. Again, I did do this on the live server, so yeah, this does work. So unless there was a sudden change on beta with the software patch that has not gone live, this will work again. And I hate these cave maps sometimes. There we are. Good thing I'm not claustrophobic. Alright. So here we go. The big thing about this is, as I recall, teleport ally and assemble a team do not work on her in this mission. Especially since, as you can see, I'm clicking her and I can't target her, which means she cannot be targeted for, you know, recall friend, and ATT likely wouldn't work either. But she's right next to me, she's tethered, she's ready to go. So click. Ta-da! No need to deal with all those pesky ambushes. Okay, we'll see you on the final mission in a few moments. Okay, here we are, mission 4, final mission of Katie Hen on trial. Activating the Accolade. My return point, or territory, whichever you prefer, has been marked. Now, this mission has always been a little bit of a pill because she can aggro lock onto a whole lot of mobs and come and just go after them like crazy. Especially since mobs will spawn the instant she's freed. But even if she aggroes them, she'll still be tethered to me, and thus I should still be able to work her back. It is critical to note, though, that when you do this with a team, if you're going to use mark and recall to get her to the door in an instant, have the teammates just back off, have them door sit. Only the person with mark and recall should get her free. Okay, that way you know for a fact she's tethered on to the right person. If she tethers to the wrong person, then it becomes utterly pointless. Almost got her. She is free. And ta-da! We just won. So there you go. Another test of mark and recall and a demonstration of exquisitely great usage of it. I really hope they never change that. This makes all missions and tasks. Okay, here we are for another mark and recall test. This is the first mission of the Chapter 4 of the Croatoa story arcs. first mission of the 4th story arc, or Chapter 4 of the Kroatoa story arcs. And as you can see, I got 4 hostages to get to the door. These red caps aren't capable of killing me, but running them to the door is a bit of a nuisance because it's easy for one of them to get stuck behind, so yeah. Anyway, I marked the door upon entry. They're all with me. Now, so far, I've been able to do this with two rescued people in that first mission, the Silver Manta Strike Force, with those 2 Suars that you have to rescue. Let's see if we can do 4. We can do 4. Now, isn't that great? Okay, here we go. Okay, with another Mark and Recall demo vid for City of Heroes. Once again, we're going to demo a purpose for the Mark and Recall Accolade. This is Mission 2 of Chapter 3 of the Ghost Widow Patron Arc. So again, this is the 3rd chapter of her 4 Patron Arcs, 3rd arc, Mission number 2. And this story arc of hers consists of a few kidnap missions. This is easily considered to be one of the most annoying of the patron chapters, just because it's got multiple kidnap missions in it. But now with Mark and Recall, well, what do you know? Now it may not be so bad. So we've marked our destination spot. Right there on the map. And let's see now. No need to start fighting just yet. I do fail to see why the map has to zoom in like that when you zone. Ah, and here's our target. Okay. Once again, he's lit green, which means he's tethered, and of course we also got the dot to show he's tethered also. Oh no, do I fight through these mobs and ambushes? No, I don't think so. Ta-da! Now, of course, I got a 10-minute recharge on this Accolade and some more kidnap missions coming up, so that's the slight downside. But hey, you can always wait and just let it recharge before you go on to the next mission. That's entirely up to you. The final mission in this story arc is another kidnap mission. So I think there's a couple more kidnap missions I gotta do. Then there's like a defeat all, and then there should be a final kidnap mission. So there's approximately 4, kidnap missions in this. So you could use Mark and Recall on each one, provided that you wait for the recharge to complete on each one. Or you save it for the last mission only in this and just warp that last hostage out for a quick end to a painful arc. That's entirely up to you. But this is just yet another proof of functionality of Mark and Recall. Have fun. Okay, City Heroes video tour, another instance of where the Mark and Recall Accolade can come in handy. This is mission 1 of the Aeon Strike Force. I previously tested this, now I'm just going to get it on film for posterity. This is how we're going to use Mark and Recall to get Becky to the top level pretty darn quick. Step 1. The person with Mark and Recall enters the mission. Everyone else should sit outside to avoid screwing up the Becky tether. So everyone else sits outside. This won't take long. So the rest of the team can just show some patience and wait outside. So, here's what's going to happen. This is, by the way, being done on the beta test server for the purposes of expeditedly completing the mission. You'll see. So first, we do the usual talking to Becky. Speed through her dialogue. Oh, joy. Okay. And now she's tethered to me. Map's been opened up so I can see where I'm going with these. Phase shift is on speed boost. Now we're going to leave Becky behind. We're going to skip the initial wave of targets down here for the moment, and we're going to leave her behind. She cannot be killed in this mission. Don't worry about that. She'll be fine. So it looks like my tether should be just about broken, and yep, she's in the general vicinity of the elevators. That'll be fine. She'll be fine right there. So now let's go ahead and proceed up to the top level. And of course, this is the terminal you got to bring her to. So we turn off the phase shift because apparently you can't mark and recall while it's on. Okay. Destination point is now marked. Now let's go back down and get her. Doing good, doing good. Whoop. There we are. A little bit more. She might be linked up with a mob here. Yep. There. Like I said, this is the beta server, so I'm just going to use the beta quick kill powers just to expedite this. So, in any event, she's tethered to me again. Therefore, we're now ready to make the warp. Hey, what do you know? There she is. However, take note. She hasn't done her talking that she would at this terminal yet because the terminal's not glowing. You still got to defeat the boss down here to get that terminal active. And again, we're just going to go and do it the quick method, since this is beta server and I can do that. There, see? Now the objective is lit. So let's head back up here. Becky should follow, along with a big mob. Well, to ensure that she's not blocked by the mob. There. That should defeat the mob. Now here comes Becky. Now here comes Becky. Evidently Becky doesn't want to get moving again. How typical. Alright, now we got her moving again. Okay, a slight comedy of errors there, that's fine. That's all good, see? The objective is lit, the glow is blinking. There. The dialogue is now set, and you can rest assured she'll be there in the final mission where you can try to get her badge. So basically the strategy is this. The mark and recall person, preferably with some form of super speed stealth like this character of mine, enters while everyone else stays outside. Talks to Becky, gets the tether attached. Zips up to here, sets the mark and recall point, goes back and gets her. Restores the tether so that she's green instead of blue, as you can see on the cursor. Upon which you warp her up here. Now she's safe and secure up on the top level. And again, she cannot be killed in this mission. The last mission, yes, but not this one. So from at this point, the team should enter and proceed with the objectives of taking out the scientists. And if at all possible, maybe teleport them up here to take down the boss and the scientists up here. And then you get Becky back over here to the terminal while they go ahead and knock out any more scientists on the previous levels that need to be knocked out to complete the mission. So as you can see, pretty interesting strategy that you can use. Doesn't take too long. Okay, once again, welcome to City Heroes Video Tours. We're once again going to do the mark and recall on the Aeon SF. I am once again doing this on the beta server for expeditious purposes. And I have set it this time so that team of 8 size and 1-star setting. This way we can see just how much of a treat or how much of a comedy of errors it might be to use mark and recall on Becky. So by setting it to 8, I'll have appropriate mob sizes, and on 1-star, it'll be the appropriate difficulty. As I have said, this could very literally become a comedy of errors, but we will see what we will see. Okay, the talking is done. She is now the quote-unquote hostage. Now remember, in this mission, she cannot be destroyed. The enemy cannot destroy Becky. And yes, I am running with the beta test buffs turned on, simply because, again, expeditious purposes. I don't have the time to grind through this on solo mode on the regular server right now, and this can easily be done on beta for test purposes. So, this should still give us an idea of what it'll be like. Alright then, once again, I'm going to have to zip ahead like I did on the previous test video of this, and I got to leave her behind, breaking the tether. Going through the elevators quickly enough usually is enough. And she should be left behind now in the vicinity of the elevator. Super speed plus the phase shift plus my sprint does contain stealth proc. The only hazard is that my beta decay is still turned on. It could cause some enemy aggro, but we'll deal with that when it comes. It is highly encouraged, though, that you make sure that whatever character does this, they got maximum stealth, and any damage and taunt auras they have are deactivated for the run. Alright, I've made it to the terminal where she's got to go, and looks like company's coming. So let's quickly mark the spot. There. That purple dot on the map is the mark spot. Alright. There she is back there on the map. Again, this is the mission where she cannot be killed. When she rejoins you at the end of the Strike Forest, that's a different topic. Okay, she's not tethered to me at the moment because of this crowd. Okay. Let's see if we can beat the crowd relatively quick with normal powers. I don't want to have to use the beta server kill powers if I don't have to. And yes, I got the beta buffs on. This is again for expeditious purposes. Whoop, she's following me. She's tethered. Hot diggity. And I don't need to finish fighting these goons. Alright, at this point, this is where you tell your team to come on in and start clearing out the targets on the first level of the map. Meanwhile, well, what do you know? Here she is. Now, the glowy's not glowing yet. You still have to beat the boss on this level. Once he's down and you chat with him, then the glowy's lit, then you can bring her back to the glowy. But the bottom line is, you just got her here through a couple levels worth of mobs rather quickly and easily. So again, to do this, you're going to want a character that's got some stealth, and, if necessary, the durability to handle any aggro that may come. Now, a stalker ought to be ideal, Stalker shouldn't really have to worry too much about damage and taunt ores in most cases. They should be able to ghost on up here, mark the spot, go back down. They will have to break her free of the mob. That's where the Stalker may run into a complication, but that depends on the Stalker and the player, of course. Otherwise, I would suggest maybe just having a Brute or a Tank do this. But yeah, she's here, so now it'd be just a matter of wiping out the boss and the goon. Well, just actually just the boss to light up the glowy. And what the heck. Since I am a little pressed for time, and this is beta server, what the heck. So normally you use your regular powers here to wipe these goons out while waiting for your team to get up here and lend a hand. Or you could always just stay there with Becky and wait for them to arrive, or you could always use incandescence if you have it equipped to bring them up here, or else single target teleport them up here. So basically, yeah, that would be a good plan. Get Becky up here with the mark and recall. And if you got aggro coming your way, which you just might, then hopefully you have incandescence equipped, or you can quickly start teleporting allies up here. You could clear this level of the map, get the glowy lit up, bring her back to it, she'll do her dialogue, and then you can click the glowy and she's all set to go for the last mission. Then jump back down to the lower levels of the map and wipe out any more of the technicians that need to be wiped out. So that's actually not a half bad idea. Should work out rather well. So hopefully you get the idea for this. So this is going to be a very excellent use of mark and recall. Looking at the mob sizes on 8 setting if you had a full team, especially down there. Oh yeah. Yeah, mark and recall is definitely going to be very useful on Becky on this if you're looking to get the Becky badge set up. Okay then, well, that's going to be a cut print wrap on this part. See you soon. In terms of setup and prep, and then from there, just proceed with the rest of the strike force. So there you go. Have fun. Forces that have rescue escort missions, so much better. Imperious Task Force. You gotta escort Sister Solaris to that altar at the top of the hill. Normally it's a couple quick steps, but sometimes she doesn't move right away, or she gets tangled up in people's stealth powers, or someone might have been silly and triggered that massive Nictus ambush that can occur up there. So we're gonna see how well it works with her. Okay, here we are up at the top, ready to go free Sister Solaris, having easily crushed my way through the inside and rescuing the 10 prisoners. So first we go to the altar. We tap the Accolade so that it's primed and ready. And let's do this. That brings the soldiers and gets the Minotaur's attention. Did his T9 collapse? Darn. Okay. Okay, once she says that, yep, now she's moving. Well, what do you know? It worked. So, okay, so the real trick is in all the cases that I have shown in this video, the hostage must be ready to be moving. She was standing there jabbering for a few moments, and it wasn't until she bubbled me and was moving that I was able to do it. With that other guy I rescued in that other standard mission, same thing. Basically, I had to get him free, make sure he was going to follow me, thus he's tethered, thus click, zap, done. And same with that LGTF, which is very critical. You must make sure Penelope has said that she's very sorry for what's going on. At that point, she's mobile, she's in battle, and that's when you trigger the Accolade, and she's still tethered to you, and you go right to the door. So there you go. We now have a nice way to use the Mark and Recall Accolade they've added to the game. Now again, you need some badges to get this, so one moment. Okay. Multifaceted, this is one of them. You also need this one here for shooting down the Hamidan that flies around the first ward. You want a teamer league for that one, trust me. You also need this one for destroying one each of the seedlings of the Seed of Hamidan. You also need this badge right here for defeating the Carnival of Light, Vengeance, or War. They're in First Ward in Pretoria. You can easily find them. You also need this one for defeating Drudges. You'll find them in Night Ward rather easily. You need this one. That's for getting all the plaques in First Ward. And then after that, you need the Eye of the Vortex badge, which is a First Ward exploration badge. The Stargazer map badge, for which is a Night Ward. And the Dead But Dreaming badge, which is also Night Ward. So I'd show them on the list here, but there's a lot of map badges in the game. It'd take a little while to find them on the list, so not gonna have to worry about that. But anyway, yeah, so we now have a great use for that Mark and Recall Accolade, which, by the way, this is the badge that gives the Mark and Recall Accolade power right here. You get this when you get all those badges that I've shown or mentioned. Alright, folks, well, that's going to be a cut, print, and a wrap for this vid. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one, and hey, don't forget, remember, respect diversity in the game. This game promotes diversity of character design, character construction, and playstyle. There's no one way to play this game. If someone tells you otherwise, then that may not be the type of person you want to be playing with. There's multiple ways to build characters. There's multiple ways to play this game. And people really do need to remember that sometimes. Also, as always, don't forget every once in a while, turn your computer off, go outside and play. See you on the next video.